And we've been warning, and people have been saying, this is what's going to happen. This is what it is. It comes in the form of shooting random people in the street. It comes in the form of taking a car and running over people, like in New Orleans with the guy with the guy had an Al-Qaeda flag on his truck. We're not talking about that. Why are we not talking about that, by the way? Why was that covered up by the media, by the way? What's going on? Like, why is the media covering this up?
You know the reason. I mean, it's all part of
historical
this.
question.
Yes, it's all part of this. You know, what we talked about the very first episode is the parasitic mind virus of suicidal empathy, where the Western world has this guilt about them in terms of how we apparently treat, the Muslim world. I guess if you go back to the establishment of the State of Israel, if you go back to our response to the 9/11 attacks, I suppose that you can make that argument that, we've been harsh on the Muslim world, and for some reason we feel now that we have to commit suicide in order to make amends for that. And that's what it is.
Right, but like the thought that they're just harsh on the Muslim world, like the argument is that you're stealing, or we're just...
No, I'm not legitimizing their argument.
I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying the comments that are made, like, Islamic fundamentalism is not a new problem.
No.
It's been an old problem. People talk about the Crusades, and the Crusades, they did their things too, but they're fighting back on a lot of that too. Right. Like this has been going on since the beginning of time, and now we're seeing it.
Well, since the beginning of
Islam, right.
600 BC.
Right. And it's spreading. And we can talk about that. We can talk about the population growth and the number of Muslims in the world compared to now. And it's not to say, and that's why the narrative is switched and everybody's shitting on Israel. It's not to say that all Muslims hate Jews, but I venture to say most of them are anti-Israel, right?
For sure.
So that's not a shocking thing. No. And when I see now the brainwash, like, let's talk about the college campuses.
Okay.
Who's the number one funder of all these upper league schools or all these schools? Qatar.
Yes.
The numbers are out there. Do your research.
Yes.
Billions of dollars.
Right.
They're not stupid.
Right.
Qatar is the number one, with Iran, are the number one funders and pushers of Islamic fundamentalism and terrorism. It's not hard to see. That's why it's troubling to me when I see Trump over there doing with the... I'm hoping there's a bigger agenda there, is what I'm hoping, right? And accepting planes. I don't like that, right? I don't like any business with these people, right? Because I know what they stand for. Saudi Arabia doesn't speak to Qatar because they came out saying, look, they won't stop funding terrorism.
Right.
And they're not stupid.